Good morning. It's May 27th, 2018, and this is Tucson New Thought. I'm Reverend Jonathan Zenz, and it's such a pleasure to have you here again this morning for our virtual celebration. So today, it's going to be a little bit different, and you'll understand as it unfolds. But what I want to start with today, actually, is just a little quiet time. I want us to all allow ourselves to simply get focused and relaxed. So what I'm going to invite you to do is either keep an eye on the background behind me, the beautiful Brandy Fenton Memorial Park with the Catalina Mountains in the background and the trees and the sounds of the birds if you can hear them. Just allow yourself to become quiet. If it's comfortable, you can close your eyes as well. And simply relax. Just be. Taking a breath and allowing, simply allowing. There's nothing we need to do except to be. There's no place we need to be except right here. The only time that exists is now. There is nothing coming. There's nothing we're leaving behind. There's only now. There's only this moment. We breathe into this, relax into this, and allow. Simply, simply allow. In this allowing, stepping into the recognition that there is only potential. There is only infinite potential. Right here, right now, potential is all that exists. It exists fully in each and every one of us. Right here, right now, potential is all there is. And it is expressing itself magnificently through all of creation. This includes each and every one of us. It includes the good of the universe unfolding. It includes the sirens, it includes the traffic, it includes everything. For that is the nature of life, to create itself from itself. And so all is good, all is well, right here, right now. There is potential. Taking a breath, slowly opening your eyes, and simply allowing the self to be here. Taking a breath. You know, one of the things I love is that in the midst of noise, in the midst of everything, there is always the potential for allowing myself to come back to the center, for allowing myself to come back to spirit, for allowing the good to simply unfold, relaxing in the moment and recognizing that this is it, right here, right now. This is the only thing that's going on. So, as I was driving, I was on the freeway yesterday, on the interstate yesterday, driving for a while, and towards the end of the evening, as I was driving into Tucson, I got a text message that I read on my watch very quickly, and then made a quick phone call as I pulled aside. And unfortunately, on Friday I had announced that Via Dia would be performing some music today, but they're not feeling well, and that's okay. We honor them, we send our loving support to them as they move through this time of whatever it is that's going on for them, and allow them to simply heal and get better and feel rested. But I thought to myself, well, here's an opportunity. If today is, oh, the possibilities, what are the possibilities for how we can experience music today? So what I decided to do is to go back into the archives of the Global Truth Center videos and present a song that I sang just a few months ago. So here you go.
There's too many visionaries, too many blind luminaries, too many castaways out begging to be saved. There's too many money chasers ganging up on Mother Nature, creature comforting our paradise away. Ah, but who am I to say? I've just been born today in a cabin to myself out in the redwoods. And my word straight to God, or what I think is God. I know another way out if we all could stop for a minute. Wipe the progress from our eyes and stare at the setting sun that holds us here alive, and dream like we've never dreamed, for less, not more this time. You are my ally. If you can, so can I. Simplify. Too many advertisements advertising, mesmerizing us into that buy it now or never dream. There's too many corporations, too many television stations, too many restaurants not serving what we need. Ah, but who am I to say? I've just been born today in a cabin to myself out in the redwoods. And my word straight to God, or what I think is God. I know another way out if we all could stop for a minute. Wipe the progress from our eyes and stare at the setting sun that holds us here alive, and dream like we've never dreamed, for less, not more this time. You are my ally. If you can, so can I. Simplify. Out in the redwoods, and my word straight to God, or what I think is God. I know another way out if we all could. Stop for a minute. Wipe the progress from our eyes and stare at the setting sun that holds us here alive, and dream like we've never dreamed, for less, not more this time. You are my ally. If you can, so can I. Simplify.
Oh, Simplify. It's one of my favorite songs. And one of the things I'll let you know is that it's going to be on an album that I'm recording. I don't know when this album's coming out. It's going to be a while. But the initial work for that album has started, and that's one of the songs that I plan on having on it. But I really want to talk today about possibilities. You know, today's talk title, today's message is all about, the possibilities, right? And one of the things that I've really been feeling is this past week has been marked by lots of transitions and transformations. And, when we talk about transition, we usually mean, a certain type of transition within this philosophy, but transitions are infinite and eternal, and they're always happening. You know, we have one movement from one place to another. That's a transition. And so some of the transitions that have happened this week are graduations, right? Graduations have unfolded. My two nephews have finished elementary and middle school, and so they are transitioning. They're now anticipating going to, in the fall, middle school and high school respectively. So there's a transition, right? Many other young people I know, some people that I've worked in the theater with who were, you know, young people in the theater, they're finishing up their high school and they're looking at their transition into being in college next year. And it's not just the kids. So I mentioned earlier that I was driving on the interstate coming back to Tucson, and the reason why is because I was coming back from Los Angeles again. Yes, I've been going to Los Angeles quite a bit recently. What I was in Los Angeles to do, though, was to interview practitioner candidates who were there taking their oral panels. And what the oral panels are, it's the final step in the licensing procedure. They go through many years of study, they do a written examination, and if they pass the written examination, then they get to sit for their panels, which is they sit with, you know, 3 practitioners or ministers, and they get grilled on the philosophy, on what they know and how they will show up as consciousness in this world. And if the 3 ministers all unanimously agree, then those practitioner candidates become fully licensed practitioners of religious science. So all of this to say that this time of year, transitions are common, changes are common. You know, we watch the transition from winter into spring and spring into summer, and everybody's now going into summer break with their, you know, with vacations and things like that. So it's traditionally a time of change. I think about some of the times when these changes occurred for me. You know, in 1985, I was finishing 6th grade at Carrillo Elementary School and looking forward to starting at Utterback Middle School. I finished Utterback in 1987 and went into Tucson High, graduated from Tucson High in 1991, made a big transition to going across the street to the University of Arizona. 1997, one of the biggest transitions of my life, I moved away from Tucson and moved to New York City. New York for a few years, moved back across the continent to LA, and it was in LA that I came into my spiritual beingness and became a minister, which is what in 2011 took me to Toronto, Ontario, and experienced life in Toronto. It was a beautiful, beautiful experience of life there for those 5.5 years. I served as the spiritual director there, but then came a time for yet another transition. And I decided to come back to my hometown after 21 years, landed right here in Tucson, Arizona, to start Tucson New Thought. So in many ways, it's like I've come full circle, and the transformation and the transition has all brought me back here. But none of those things would have been possible without the idea that infinite possibility exists, that in every step of the way, I was looking at what is the next thing for me, what is the next way that I can show up and experience life in the most magnificent way possible. And the possibilities are endless. Life is unpredictable. I mean, that's really the truth. We like to try to pretend what our future holds, but we don't actually know what our future holds. I actually don't know when I leave here what's going to happen to me. I don't know what's going to happen to me 5 minutes from now. There's one thing that we can count on, though, that possibilities are infinite. That's one thing we can absolutely count on, that possibilities are infinite. So, why is this so? Well, the nature of creative source is infinite. So everything that exists is the result of creative source. That beautiful, beautiful experience of love that has transformed itself, allowing itself to become everything that we experience in the world of form. Now, in source, all possibility, all probability exists. I'm going to say that again. In form, they're in source, in source, all probability exists. Everything that is probable exists in source, and so it shows up as infinite possibility in form. Everything is probable, so anything is possible. It's a matter of how we use our minds. For our minds set the limitation to the experience of life that we have. So these newly licensed practitioners that I was working with over the past 24 hours, one of the things that they were required to do in their interview was to explain the creative process. And so what the creative process is this idea. It's basically the seed becoming the plant. So the seed is implanted into a soil, and the soil nurtures and simply allows that seed the benefit of growth. And what flows forth is the plant. So if we think of that metaphor, if we think of that as a metaphor for our minds, our thoughts, our beliefs are a seed. And those seeds are planted into the law of cause and effect. So those seeds as cause are planted into the law of cause and effect. And from that comes the effect. So everything that we think, everything we believe is showing up in some fashion, infinitely, in the experience and expression of our lives. That's why we talk about change your thinking, change your life. Or change your belief, change your life. As we change those things, the expression and the experience of our life changes. And what is so great about this is that anything we can imagine can become our reality. That's the nature of infinite possibility. So how much do you think you know? How much do you think you know? How much do you think is possible? It goes deeper. Whatever you think you know, whatever you think is possible, there's actually something deeper, because the nature of spirit, the nature of the creative source is absolutely infinite. Your limitation is your perception. That's the only limitation we have, is perception. So part of the perception is in confusing the possibilities that exist. And we call these possibilities sometimes problems, right? We don't see the potential within the possibility. We don't see the potential within the problem. So today is a little bit about reframing our idea of what problems are. Problems can be seen as possibilities. Anytime there is change in our lives, there is an inevitable flow of intelligence. And in that, there can be a recognition of the limitations that we've placed. And in recognizing that, what is up to us is to recognize that those limitations can no longer withhold our greatness. And so, you are infinite possibility. Step into it. Something new has to unfold as we change our lives, as we change our minds, as we change our experience. We have the opportunity to accept or deny whatever's showing up for us. So, the inevitable flow of intelligence is showing us that the limitations we've placed can no longer contain our greatness, and so something new must be born. So it brings me to this. I could look at these past couple months and the way that Tucson New Thought has unfolded in a very particular way. I can look at it and say, well, something launched, and then it changed, and then we didn't have a space, and I can look at these things as problems. We didn't have a space, so what am I going to do? I've got a potential of the internet, so I'm going to do this virtual celebration idea. And so I started doing that, and I started thinking, well, I would really like to gather back together with community. One of the things I miss in doing this, frankly, is the actual physical presence of people. And so, something new must be born. I can either look at it as a problem, or I can look at it as a possibility. So Tucson New Thought, frankly, has been unfolding in a way that is completely unexpected. And as I consider the myriad possibilities laid out before me, the infinite probability factor of creation has presented some possibilities upon which I am taking action. One of the big things is, and this is one of the things I'm very excited about, is I'm submitting an application for a space to rent so that we can call it our spiritual home and come together as a physical presence in community. Now there's some fear in making this decision. Think about it. Do I have the means to do it? Yes. See, I caught you there. The nature of life is to unfold. The nature of spirit is to unfold for our highest benefit. So the minute I think I don't have the means to do this is when I have the experience of not having the means. You see how that works? So I will claim right here and right now that the means are available to make this happen. I could easily get caught up in all the reasons why this might not be a good course of action. That is seeing the possibilities as problems. Or I could see the potential in all of this. And frankly, there is great potential. Is it perfect? Yes. Is it what I thought perfection would look like? No. See, and that's one of the things we can get caught up in as well, is thinking that what we see, what we think should be perfect, what we think should be the perfect expression, may not actually be the perfect expression. So, the space I'm looking at, it's not what I thought would be the perfect expression, and yet it is the perfect expression. So this is the great lesson. Be accepting of the infinite possibilities in life, and the creative power takes care of the details. We don't need to get caught up in all those details. All we need to do is set our intention for something to be created. Everything is probable, so anything is possible. Namaste. And so this infinite nature, this infinite expression of infinite possibility is allowing itself to take form. And it is my intention that we launch as a community in person on July 1st. But I need your support to do that. So what I'm asking for now is your support in financial ways to allow this center to continue to unfold and express itself. We survive based on your contributions, and we will grow based on your contributions. So I encourage you right now to take that to heart. Allow yourself to determine, what does this mean to you? What do these messages mean to you? And allow yourself to give freely from your heart, your time, your talent, and your treasure. So if you would please take a moment just to click on that donate link in the description field of the Facebook feed, or if you're watching this in the archives, you can click the donate button right here on the website here at Tucson New Thought. If you're watching it on YouTube, it's down in the description below. There are many opportunities to lend your support financially to this center. It's an investment in what this center's potential and possibility is. And as we gain more support financially, we get to grow this center and do the work that we want to do in the world, which is create a world that works for everyone. So I welcome and gratefully accept all that you have to offer here. I'm so grateful for your contribution and look forward to building this community together. So take a breath and simply allow, relax, release, let go, as we close our time together today in spiritual mind treatment. If it's comfortable and you want to close your eyes and simply allow yourself to hear all that's going on right here in Brandy Fenton Memorial Park. The people expressing their gratitude, walking through the park, the dogs, the birds, there are horses down the way. Simply allow yourself to become aware of all of it. What's in your environment where you are? Allow yourself to become aware of it. And breathing. And simply allowing. Right here and right now. I know that there's only one power and one presence. There's only one infinite creative resource. It is unfolding itself here and now in terms of creation, as it always does. A constant, infinite unfoldment of love. And this is who and what each and every one of us is. We are each divine expressions of love. There is absolutely no separation. There is only love. It's who and what we are. And knowing this, and knowing that love is the creative factor of the universe, I call upon love by means of each and every one of us to express itself more fully, more thoroughly in the expression of life as infinite possibility, where there is ultimate potential in all of it. And so anything we choose, anything we decide upon becomes the expression of our lives. Anything we firmly root in our belief system becomes the expression of our lives. And so we root love, light, life, peace, power, beauty, joy, all of these magnificent attributes of God more fully, more deeply as the expression of our lives. This is the infinite possibility available to each and every one of us. And so simply allowing this, relaxing into this, and knowing this, it is with gratitude that I simply let it be so. I release, let go, allow, and trust. As together we say, and so it is. And so it is. So grateful for your time today. and I look forward to seeing you again virtually for the next few weeks, and I really look forward to seeing you in person at the beginning of July. Namaste.